Okay, let's unpack this. We're launching into a deep dive on a story that has truly shaken a community, and it's captured widespread attention. I'm talking about the urgent and frankly heartbreaking disappearance of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Our mission today really is to sift through the sources we have, pull out the most important insights, those nuggets of knowledge on this very recent, still ongoing case, just help you understand the crucial details.
Yeah, and what's particularly challenging, I think, in cases like Sebastian's, especially when it involves individuals on the autism spectrum, it's how it complicates those initial search patterns, standard sort of runaway ideas they don't quite apply. But then, without clear signs of forced entry, law enforcement faces this immediate critical ambiguity. Did he wander off?
No.
Or was he taken? And that distinction right at the start, it profoundly impacts how resources get used and the kinds of leads they chase first.
That's a really important perspective on these types of cases, yeah. And Sebastian, his family describes him as a bright, sweet teenager. He's 5'5", brown hair, brown eyes. And crucially, he is on the autism spectrum. He absolutely thrives on routine. His family calls him a homebody, someone who finds comfort, stability in familiar places. So that profile, it just makes his vanishing from his own home back in February 2024, well, it makes it particularly alarming and completely out of character for him. So let's talk about the night he vanished, the specifics. Sebastian was last seen at home on Stafford Court in Hendersonville. His mother, Jennifer, she reported him missing in the early hours of February 26, 2024. He'd been in bed the night before, but when she woke up, he was gone. And there's a detail here that immediately caught my attention. I'd like your thoughts on it. His shoes were missing and the front door was unlocked. But no signs of forced entry, and they explicitly stated this was not normal behavior for him. What does a detail like that immediately tell investigators? Or maybe, what doesn't it tell them, especially considering Sebastian's profile?
That's a crucial point. It really is.
Yeah.
And it immediately sets up this dilemma for the investigators. Without signs of forced entry, the first thought might lean towards him leaving voluntarily, even if it's not normal behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But the missing shoes and his autism, like you highlighted, that significantly complicates things. It forces law enforcement to consider both possibilities at the same time. A child who wandered off, maybe disoriented, maybe seeking comfort in some routine nobody else understands, and also that more unsettling possibility, an abduction. Even without a clear break-in, it's a very, very difficult and ambiguous starting point for any search. It means they have to pursue multiple avenues at once.
Right. And despite that ambiguity right at the start, the response was incredibly fast and massive. You had local law enforcement, Hendersonville police, Sumner County Sheriff's deputies, plus the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the TBI. They quickly launched this huge search effort. And we're talking hundreds of volunteers joining in too, combing neighborhoods, woods, even nearby waterways, just a huge mobilization.
Indeed. And it's important, I think, for people to understand why an Amber Alert wasn't issued right away. An Amber Alert, typically it required confirmed evidence of an abduction, like an immediate threat of serious harm or death. In Sebastian's case, without those signs of forced entry, authorities initially thought, well, maybe he left on his own. And that doesn't quite fit the strict Amber Alert criteria. So because of his age and his autism diagnosis, they activated a statewide endangered child alert instead. It's a crucial distinction. Both alert the public, sure, but the endangered child alert focuses on a vulnerable missing child. It mobilizes broader community resources, even if foul play isn't confirmed yet. And this operation was genuinely one of the largest in Sumner County in recent years. They used everything, canine units, drones, helicopters, ground teams, just trying to cover as much ground as possible.
Okay, so with that immense ground effort, what happened to the trail? His scent was reportedly tracked, right, to a nearby street, but then it just disappeared. As if he'd gotten into a car, maybe, or the trail just went cold. That must be incredibly challenging for investigators when a lead just vanishes like that. And as you can imagine, tips started flooding in. Possible sightings, some even beyond Hendersonville. But sadly, none of those tips have ever been confirmed.
It creates a huge hurdle, a really significant one. Scent trails, they're incredibly valuable, but when they stop abruptly like that, it raises immediate questions. Was there a vehicle involved? Or did something else, like weather or just the terrain, obscure the trail? And that influx of unconfirmed tips, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, every tip gets investigated, of course, but sifting through them, verifying each one, that takes resources, a lot of resources, especially when they're coming from far away from where he disappeared. It really underscores why the public needs to provide as much verifiable detail as they possibly can.
Speaking of details, Sebastian's family has made these desperate pleas for help. Their biggest concern, because of his autism, is that Sebastian might not understand the danger he's in. They worry he could be easily overwhelmed by strangers or maybe loud environments. He was last known to be wearing a black sweatshirt and black sweatpants. And he might have been carrying a flashlight. These small details, they could make all the difference for someone who might have seen him that morning. So it's vital for anyone listening to keep those things in mind. Okay, so we've talked about the initial circumstances, the huge search. Considering everything we've discussed, his routine, the missing shoes, the unlocked door, that vanishing scent trail, what are the leading theories law enforcement is working with now? And how do they even approach juggling these different possibilities at the same time?
Yeah, that's really the heart of the ongoing investigation, isn't it? The main theories, they basically fall into two buckets, two main possibilities. Could Sebastian have just wandered off on foot, maybe got disoriented or was looking for something familiar, especially given his autism and how much he liked routine? Or the other, more unsettling possibility, could someone have taken him? Now, law enforcement's official stance is clear. They have not ruled out foul play. But they keep stressing that as of now, they don't have confirmed evidence of an abduction. And this brings up an important point about how information spreads, particularly online. There's been a lot of speculation swirling around online naturally, but the police have urged the public, please focus on verified facts, not conspiracy theories. Why? Because these unverified theories, they can actually create a lot of noise. They can lead to misdirected search efforts, distract from real leads, and that, tragically, can hinder the critical work of actually bringing Sebastian home.
And the hard fact is, as of right now, Sebastian Rogers is still missing. His disappearance is being treated as an active, ongoing case by the TBI. They're continuing to investigate every single lead that comes in, no matter how small it might seem.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, maybe the most immediate, impactful way you can help is to spread accurate information, and crucially, to provide any information you might have. If you, listening right now, think you might have seen Sebastian, or if you have any information at all, even if it seems tiny or insignificant, please contact the Hendersonville Police Department or call the TBI directly. That number is 1-800-TBI-FIND-I-FIND-O. Seriously, every single piece of information is valuable. It could hold the key.
Absolutely. Even the smallest detail could be the one that brings Sebastian home. The vanishing of a person, especially a vulnerable young person like Sebastian, it creates more than just a void. It leaves this profound question mark hanging over a community. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How do we, as individuals, as a society, how do we keep that question alive? How do we keep hope burning when the initial trail goes cold and the details are sparse, yet every detail truly matters? What kind of ongoing vigilance does a case like this really demand from all of us? Something to think about.
And that's it for this episode of Bits and Booze.